want to explain about rectangle command and polygon command. First, rectangle command creates a rectangular polyline. You should create a rectangular polyline from the specified rectangle parameters, length, width, rotation, and type of corners, fillet, chamfer, or square. First, you can type rec and set a specified first point. For example, 20. And another point, 50, 60. Or you can create a rectangle with area, dimension, or rotation. For example, first point. With area creates a rectangle losing area and either a length or a width. If the chamfer or fillet option is active, the area includes the effects of the chamfers or fillets on the corners of the rectangle. Or with dimension, create a rectangle using length and width values. Or rotation creates a rectangle at a specified rotation angle. For example, where you choose rotation, type 13, dimension, 20, wide, chamfer or fillet. Chamfer set the chamfer distance from the rectangle. Fillet specify the fillet radius of the rectangle. For example, 30. I will explain about the fillet, chamfer, and blend curves in futures. Well, I want to explain about Polygon. Creates an equilateral closed polyline. First, you should specify the number of sides in the polygon between 3 and 1024. For example, 8. Now you should set the center of the polygon. Specify the location of the center of the polygon and better the new object in inscribe or circumscribe. 0, 0. Inscribed in circle specifies the radius of a circle on which all vertices of the polygon lie. Specifying the radius with your pointing device determines the rotation and size of polygon. Specifying the radius with a value draws the bottom edge of the polygon at the current snap rotation angle. For example, the radius 160. I want to draw another polygon. Again 8. 0, 0. Circumscribe about circle. Radius 160. It is the difference between this one is the difference between inscribing circle and circumscribe above circle. Circumscribed above circle specifies the distance from the center of the polygon to the midpoint of the edge of the polygon. This one. Specifying the radius with your pointing device determines the rotation and the size of the polygon. Specifying the radius with a value draws the bottom edge of the polygon at the current snap rotation angle. In the next session, I will explain about another comments. In this session, I want to explain about arc comment to create an arc. To create an arc, you can specify combinations of center, endpoint, start point, radius, angle, chord length, and direction values. Arcs are drawn in a counterclockwise direction by default. Hold down the Control key as you drag to draw in a clockwise direction. Point. 0, tab 0 for the first point. And second point, specify the second point is a point on the circumference of the arc. 20, tab 20. And 30, and 50. Start point, second point, end point. You can specify a 3 points arc either clockwise or counterclockwise. Center. It starts by specifying the center of the circle which the arc is a part. For example, first you start first point, next center, and finally end points. Using the center point to draw an arc counterclockwise from the start point to an end point that falls on an imaginary ray drawn from the center point through the third point. In this session, I want to explain about arc comment. To create an arc, you can specify combinations of center, endpoint, start point, radius, angle, chord length, and direction values. Arcs are drawn in a counterclockwise direction by default. Hold down the Control key as you drag to draw in a clockwise direction. First with 3 points. The start point draws an arc arc using three specified points on the arc's circumference. The first point is the start point. Second point specified. The second point is the point on the circumference of the arc. End point specified the final point on the arc. For example, 0, tab 0 for the first point, 20, tab 20 for the next point, 20 and 30, and 40, 70 for the third. First point, next point, and end point. You can specify a 3-point arc either clockwise or counterclockwise. With center. Start by specifying the center of the circle of which the arc is a part. First, a start point. Specify the start point of the arc. Next, the center point, and then end point. Using the center point draws an arc counterclockwise from the start point to an end point that falls on an imaginary ray drawn from the center point through the third point. For example, this first point, center, and end point. With angle and center. For example, this is first point, center, and for example, 50. Draws an arc counterclockwise from the start point using a center point with a specified included angle. If the angle is negative, a clockwise arc is drawn. For create an arc with center and chord length. Draws either a minor or a major arc based on distance of the straight line between the start point and end point. If the chord length is positive, the minor arc is drawn counterclockwise from the start point. If the chord length is negative, the major arc is drawn counterclockwise. Next point, center, minus, first one, another one, first point, center, and with end point. It starts by specifying the endpoints of the arc, and with angle, with direction, with radius. First point, end point, and angle, 80. radius, first point, enter, and radius. And the start point, end point, and direction. For example, start point, end point, and direction. And another one, first center point, then a start point, end point, center point, start point and angle, center point, start and length, and continuous. For example, in the next session, I want to continue teaching about hatch, gradient, and boundary.